Welcome back to part 4 in our Stronghold Next Mega Q&A series. Now, if you've missed any previous videos in this series, make sure you check out the playlist to see if your questions have been answered there. But now, without further ado, let's go through another 20 of your most pressing questions about Stronghold Next. Shadowwing MD says, will there be a demo? That's what got me into playing Stronghold in the first place. I love demos. I can say for sure that we're planning public demos for the game in the UK, US, Germany, and a few other countries I've got up my sleeve I haven't confirmed just yet. But whether we release this demo online or not is a completely different matter. I can say that I'm absolutely hoping to do a beta for the game before release. If that's something you're interested in, sign up at fireflyworlds.com, just scroll to the bottom and hit sign up. And you'll get an email from me at some point in the future. Yusef G says, will you guys be uploading some dev diary videos? Yep, that's the plan. We are planning to be as transparent and open as possible during development of Stronghold Next. You know, obviously after the gameplay reveal, we can show much more and say much more, but it will mean answering your questions in videos like these, but also spotlighting major milestones in development, major game updates, anything that we're kind of ready to show off in-game, we will deliver to you in meme format or, you know, in a video or a blog post. And yeah, the idea will be to deliver like a bunch of different posts to all of our different pages in loads of different forms and do that on a daily, ideally, but also weekly basis. The Lord Kit Kat, great name, says, can you name the song from the previous video? That is an excellent choice. It's Horsehair from Stronghold 3, which is an excellent soundtrack, available now on Spotify. Let me know what your favourite song is or your favourite soundtrack in the comments below. Tabia109 says, I like the sound of this game, but I must know, will we be able to choose our own colour in skirmish mode? Yes, just like in Crusader 2, you will be able to pick your army colour. This may affect sort of more than just your troop colours, so it may affect the sort of overall look for your stronghold. We may have to mix things up in terms of colours for various reasons, but yes, you can absolutely expect this feature in the game. A user called Planet Trade Organization Will Destroy the Earth, good Futurama reference, says, will the cow Bessie be featured in Stronghold Next? Of course, it wouldn't be a Stronghold game without Bessie, of course, so yeah, expect Bessie to return in some form.
Here comes Bessie!
Rowan says, well, I need to have a good computer configuration to play Stronghold Next. So honestly, at this relatively early stage, we're not entirely sure what system specs will be. We have a vague idea, but we don't want to release it yet until we're sure. Obviously, as I said before, optimization and polish are a big part of the plan for Stronghold Next, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. We do a lot of research into current PC hardware, what people own in terms of GPU, CPU, resolution, and use that as our guide. So I wouldn't worry too much. We want the game to run well and look really good, even at the lower settings, and for you to be able to crank it up to 11 if you want to. So yeah, stay tuned on that front. Rowan says, 10:01, open quotation marks. It's quite hot whilst looking at the camera. Nick, 2018. I think you'll find in that video I was saying it's quite hard, which is worse somehow. Andrew Gaming says, lightsabers, my lord, question mark. You know, we wish. Tell EA we should be making Empire of War 2. Man, what a game. The Olderies says, Stronghold has always been a favourite childhood game of mine, and I'm so happy to see the studio is still going strong. And teasing us with the endless teasing, stop teasing us, oh god, why? Well, obviously we had a plan for the gameplay reveal to be out around this time, so these kind of videos are our way of tiding you over with new information and answering your questions, while we still, you know, wait for the gameplay reveal. Making video games is really hard. But yeah, we're just making sure it lives up to your expectations and has all the kind of features in the trailer that you kind of expect and you kind of would be excited for. I, for one, can't wait to stop calling it Stronghold Next, because it is only a matter of time before I slip up and say... Tom Lloyd says, Pascal is the spy at Gamescom this year. He's a great guy. Nah, he's alright. If we're being honest with ourselves. 6 out of 10. Hero Nerd says, not enough leaks, my lord. I know, it's great. Honestly, we've had a few near misses. There have been incidents with Aaron's Steam library, and a few cases where we've left like, you know, files on the desktop we probably shouldn't have left on the desktop, like design docs. So yeah, if you're interested in Stronghold leaks, tune in on Fridays when we do our stream and you might get lucky. Naruto fan says, hey guys, can you make the micromanagement in your castle a bit more complex in this game? So the goal with Stronghold Next is absolutely to do that. We're looking for a happy middle ground between sort of the more overly complex aspects of Stronghold 2 and the previous titles in the series. So that's kind of where we're going to sit in terms of micromanagement. You can expect, sort of in addition to our new mechanic and new features, lots of sort of older systems as well. So stuff that people have requested either in Steam user reviews, Facebook comments, YouTube comments, all the kind of places online where we look for feedback, and people have given us feedback directly in email. But yeah, overall, in terms of the design, we're hoping for sort of these older systems to layer nicely with the new ones and to give you sort of this sim gameplay across the whole battlefield without saying any more than that. Because spoilers! Fnatic Gamer says, please add an invasion mode if possible in Stronghold Next, just like Firefly did in classic Stronghold titles. By the way, I have a paper on Monday, and if I'm watching this, Nick is responsible. Whoa. If you fail, that's on you. These videos are like 10 minutes long. You've had weeks to revise. But yeah, you'll be able to have invasions in free build mode, just stay in school. Raphael Murray says, will Stronghold Next have difficulty settings for skirmish, just like in Crusader 2? Yes, it will. You'll be able to set difficulty level for AI opponents in skirmish and the main campaign. So in terms of the main campaign, normal should be familiar with, for anyone with series. Basic tactics should work, sort of your quintessential bread and butter Stronghold tactics. The new mechanic, the new resources, the new units may take some getting used to, but you should feel like you know what you're doing enough to stand a decent chance. Easy won't be that much easier, but the idea with easy will be that you can probably complete it on your first pass if you're like a fairly seasoned RTS gamer. In terms of hard and very hard, hard will require a few retries, even if you know what you're doing, to work out the kind of intricacies of each mission, and then very hard will be like another step up for the sort of hardcore Stronghold players, and yeah, you'll be able to do that in skirmish mode as well for individual AI lords. Sonic says, I would like to see an Easter egg in Stronghold Next where Nick is dancing the Fortnite dance. Do you mean like me to come in the corner like, Mortal Kombat when you uppercut someone, or do you mean like the actual model to do the Fortnite dance? Let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Didn't Do Nothing asks, last Stronghold I played was Legends. Can the next one have the ability to place buildings next to walls? Yep, we actually already added this in Stronghold Crusader 2, which is available for $39.99 on Steam. And yeah, it'll be in Stronghold Next as well. Harvey355 says, did not see the Friends reference coming, but I can totally see that. Monica keeping the castle organised, Phoebe's musical talents, Ross being the educator, Rachel being in charge of garments. But what job would Chandler play? He would obviously be the jester, that's super easy. Joey wouldn't have a job then, so I guess that's on brand for the show, but I guess he could be like a chivalrous knight or something. Let's brainstorm. Mr. Goldstar 1 says, what about eSports for Stronghold Next? Have you planned anything like tournaments? Yeah, so we're actually really keen to support streamers and content creators for Stronghold Next, and we'll be doing that in various ways. Stuff like Twitch features may or may not end up on the cutting room floor for various reasons, mainly because we're just kind of focused on making it a really polished multiplayer experience and getting the new mechanic working as well as it can possibly be. But yeah, for now we're kind of focused on that polished level, and yeah, keep an eye out on future Stronghold titles for those kind of features. Lionheart back again asking, does Stronghold Next have achievements? The answer is it doesn't right now, but it will. So we had around 40 for Crusader 2, and we would never pass up an opportunity to spend Friday afternoon coming up with terrible puns for achievement titles. So yeah, you can expect around that number for Stronghold Next at launch. Buzzy says, will you be able to make and break alliances in-game? Yes, so we are looking to build in the system of Stronghold Next and in future Stronghold titles because we feel like there's a lot of potential there. One goal is to make the sim sides of the gameplay, both in terms of your economy and your military, go beyond your castle. So we want you to feel like the general as part of a wider sort of war effort across the battlefield, and not just sort of lord of your domain, lord of your castle. We feel like this is, from a design point of view, the sort of most exciting way to add another layer of strategy to Stronghold without changing that sort of like quintessential bread and butter Stronghold core. So there you have it, that's it for now for our Stronghold Next mega Q&A series. If you've missed out any questions, make sure you check out the playlist and also leave comments below if we still haven't answered your questions, and we will try to get back to you. We can't wait to show you the game in the form of the gameplay reveal and are looking forward to getting it into your hands next year at game shows. So if you want more news on that front, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube and stay tuned for more details.